creating the UI. So if we go to the page right here, and we're signed in, continue with Google. We sign in with Google. We are brought here. We want to go to a page. Over here we want a button. So update below, we want a create listing. Okay, and then it should take us to another page which is called create/listing. So let's go and fix this up. So first of all, let's close all of this stuff again. So close all, and let's go here, and we can just collapse all of this again. Now we want to go to the create, the UI. So we go to the client, we go to the source, we go to the pages, we go to the profile. And in here, all the way on the bottom, you would see the button that takes you to updating, right here. So right after this button, you could add another thing that takes you to the specific requirement that you need. So essentially what I would do is I would find that and update that accordingly. So if we go there, I mean, it's on this part. So essentially it's going to be right here, loading, and then update. We have this button closed, and this is the update button. Let me just put it on the side. Wait a minute. So this, you could just cross this out and this, and put this over here, and bring this over here. And you should see that there has to be another button here, right after the update. So let's just go and see that how we could add that. So right after that, let's add a link button. So we could add right here, because it just has to be navigating. We don't have this property, so we'd have to import this as well. The thing is, it's just gonna go, so it's link to, and it should go to create hyphen. So it's actually /create hyphen listing. And since it's going to create listing, I mean, you should actually put this like this. So in, and then inside of it, create hyphen listing. That's how you do it, like that. And we normally close the tag like so. You could put create listing here. Okay, so at the moment link is not imported, so you could go on the top, or you could just say control and space, and it should add, I guess it should add it. Let's see what happens. Okay, I guess it didn't add it because the error didn't go away. This set thing should be removed. Okay, so it didn't add it, so we could just say link like that. So it's import link from React Router DOM. All we got to do that. You can see over here, create listing. Awesome. And this takes you to create listing. But the problem is we have to make it look better. Okay, let's go back here and fix it up. So since it's over here, let's add some classes to it. You could actually have a class name set to it, and you could say that it has a background green color, which is 700, and you would have text white, looks nice. A padding of 3 looks more bigger. To make it rounded, you could do rounded LG. You could bring it all of the text to uppercase. You could also make the text center using center. These are all Tailwind classes, by the way, and I guess you all recall because you've been watching past videos, but if you haven't, I'm just mentioning that these are all Tailwind classes. If someone hovers over the button, I want the opacity to change. So I could say hover opacity. If it's hovering, I want the opacity to change by 95%, like that. Now I think we're good to go for now. So you can see that create listing, click on it, it takes you there. Now that this is created, this link, we have to actually make this real because this page doesn't even actually exist. Let's go to client and we go to the pages. So you have to create a create listing page. So essentially go to the pages, which is actually in the client, and then source, pages. And in here, what we have to do is we have to create a page called CreateListing.jsx. Okay. Once we do this, we could just use the normal raf-c, and we could just say create listing for now. Okay. It's not triggered because it's not added within the app.jsx. So we have to go back here, and we got to go to the source. We got to go to the app.jsx. Over here, you could see that within the private route, you have to make this private as well. This is private because no one would be able to create listings until they are authorized actually. So that's why it should be private, and that's why it should be under it. So inside of it, you could just have another one, route. So you could just say route, and you could have path, and this should go straight to /create-listing. And the element to this would be the create listing tag. And I guess it imported it, maybe. Let's see. Create listing. Yep, it did. Automatically imported it from the pages. So we have the listing, and you see it's over here, which looks amazing. You know, it's actually as a private page. Only authorized people could view this page. Now we just have to go to the create listing and create the UI for now. So to build this UI, it's really easy. All we got to do now is, you know, basically first make a main, just make them semantic. And you can remove this create listing for now and have an h1 tag and just have create listing there. At the other time, the other thing you could do is you could put a form, and the form will collect all of the information. But the thing is that the you know, the form actually has a div section. Now I want to say that there's actually going to be two divs. This is going to be a left side, and this is also going to be a right side, like this. Okay. So inside the first div, so essentially I could just remove the right side div for now. I want two columns to appear, like 1 and 2, and it's going to be mobile responsive. So once it's on a mobile device, the two columns will be on top of each other. So meaning like one column, but both are going to be on top of each other. So that's basically mobile. And when you make it to a bigger screen, the two columns will be spaced like equally. Okay, so to do that, first of all, let's add some styling. First of all, let's have class name here, and we'll have a padding of 3, just to make a good padding. Max width for all these input fields would be 4XL, and MX auto for, you know, making all of the fields or input, whatever the are centered. You could put the listing class name, and you could set it as text-3XL, and you could have the font semi-bold. You'll see some changes now. So at them, yeah, 1 minute there, and we'll have text-center, and then we have margin of Y of 7. I'm gonna go a little down. Boom. Okay, so now we have create listing. Okay, so now we could go, and on the form you have on submit, and we have things that, you know, we could do to handle the form. But at the moment, it's just okay if we just have some class names. Suppose like flex column for having them in column, and in small devices and above, you would have the flex to row. Okay, from you know, responsive, it's mobile first breakpoint system Tailwind. So first it's in mobile devices, it's just going to be on top of each other. But once you make it bigger and bigger, from small to, you know, large, you'd have them in a row direction, and normal gap for everything would be a 4. This is just gonna look very nice. Great. So inside this div class name, for the first first column, yeah, we have flex. We'll have flex column, and we'll have gap of 4, and then we'll have a flex of 1. And normally you could do the same for another column. You could just say flex 1 to the other column. We didn't create that column right now, but yeah, it's gonna have become equal. Okay, so the first thing that we need is an input field and a text area and some other things. So what I could do is I could essentially copy some of the things that I already have, and of course it's going to scream since a lot of things are not defined. So we're going to have on change and value deleted, and the same goes for on change and value here, and the same goes for on change and value here. Okay, so we have a nice input with text, placeholder name, border P3 rounded LG, name, and some good styling and whatnot. So I'm just trying to save my time here and finish up this UI fast. So I'm just gonna add other things. So we have the address, and then after that we want another div that basically has checkboxes: rent, parking spot, like furnished, right, offer, all these on a separate div, to be honest. And that's essentially the goal. So you could put those right after this input tag. So right here, of course it's going to scream again, since this div, I suppose, is the wrapper. Yep. And I mean, we're doing well. This is another wrapper, and it's going to contain a lot of things. So the first thing that we have to do is delete this checked and on change, and we'll put we'll remove these things like what's checked and what's not. Of course, these are very nice practices, and we're gonna later on add the functionality, but in the moment we just need the design fixed. So let's just have all of this. Okay, it's looking better already. So this is the first thing that format document. So essentially within the input, this, we had another div, and it contained these checkboxes. Okay, so the first thing is that it's a flex gap 3 flex wrap, and inside there's some divs. These are all divs within the button and the text. This is a complete div itself, and the rent is a complete div itself. The parking spot is a complete div itself. The furnished is a complete div itself, and the offer is a complete div itself. Now, one thing, you look at this, it's wrapped, so that means if I make it a little smaller, it's going to adjust itself and go into the next line, which is really great. Now, right after that, we have another wrapper. So that's also a div class, and it's going to contain extra options like like the number of beds you want, like the number of bathrooms you want, the regular price, and the discounted price, and all that stuff. So essentially that is there. And then we have the other column, but at the moment, I mean, we could have this div closed right here. So this is the next part. Essentially, I'm going to get issues, a lot of issues. So 1 minute. So we're okay. I mean, this was till here. And if I look at this div, this closes for the first flex, right? But actually, we need something more within the first column. This is still the first column. Like, this is the entire first column. You'll have a little more things for the first column, and let's just fix it out. Ignore the error. So what we have is a div, and we have div class name, and we have input, and we have to just remove these handle values. So let's just delete this. And let's add, we could see over here we have all this. And let's just remove this. And on change in value, remove. Okay, and then the same thing goes for this. There's some conditional rendering here. So a form data.type and all that stuff we could just remove from there. Form data.offer, we could just remove this stuff as well. I mean, we could just have this div appear as it is without even having the rendering. So like, I guess like that. And what's left? So there seems like there's got to be an issue. Okay, of course, it exceeds the div count. I believe if there's just one extra div, but let's see. No. Probably 2 or 3. Okay. So let's see what happened here. Console. We're having issues with handle change is not defined at which part. Create listing, and we have 103. Look at 103 right here. Oh, I forgot this. Probably this is the only thing that's left, and now we see all of them. Perfect. Format document. Okay, so now you can see that there are some really nice options that you could use to add number of beds, number of price, regular price, and all that stuff, which is really decent. I mean, we have the discounted price and all that stuff, and it's really nice. Now this is the first column, and now we have to make the second column. So this column actually is completed here, I believe. So look at this. This is the first flex one. Okay, we may have to make another flex one. Same kind of width. Same kind of width. So that's going to be another flex one. So what I could do is actually just collapse this whole thing. So this flex one right here, this, and you could just say, this is my first column, and over here should be my second column. Okay, and let's just do this quickly. And let me just add the div. So paste this. Of course, it's going to scream again. And we have paragraph, images, some random style, flex, on change. There you go. Delete that. And anything else over here we have disabled uploading and handle submit, and we have uploading states. We'll make those later on. Image upload error. Wait a minute, we don't need any of that. What are we even showing here? I don't even understand. Yeah, we don't need this paragraph at all. What about this? This is all conditional renders. I don't know why. But we're not needing any of that. We don't need any of this at all. Nothing of this. So you can just remove this entire thing. This button, for some reason, has this loading disabled. We're not needing that. No, we don't need this as well. We could just remove this button as well, and this error. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so there's one thing that's missing. Probably some text. So first of all, if we look at this button has some text, and it's called essentially this one is going to be called upload. Let's see. Okay, great. Yeah, create listing. It's going to be called create listing. Come on. Like that. And this other button, which is over here, this is going to be called upload. Okay. Okay, this is really nice. Format document. I just want to see that it has to drop to a column. It's not dropping. There's something that's missing. Okay, there is. It does drop, but there are some things missing, like some CSS we might have to add. But other than that, format document, if you look at it, okay, so there's this random, I don't know why. Okay, and then let's see. So this is the first, and this is the second. Yeah. This is the second, and this is the form. Oh, gap 4 is not even there within it. So gap 4 should be within it, like like this. Now let's check it out. Much better. Much better. Super cool. This looks so good. So this is a really nice way to debug and find problems. And I guess maybe a little separation here. I don't know. I need a little bit of separation here. So if you're looking here, we have div, we have form, and then we have main. So if we look at the form, we have form. We have all this styling, and we have all this styling here as well. Flex 1, gap 4. We have a gap 4. We have a gap 4. I mean, they're all the same, to be honest. MX auto, text center, semi bold, 3XL, the main tag, and then the H1 tag, and then the form tag, div 1 and div 2. I think they're all okay. So it's okay for now, but you could actually put some gap in here. Within the main, you could put some, like, suppose gap 4 or padding 4. Just trying to find something to be changed. Okay, so basically this is so far the UI, and in the next part we're gonna add some functionality to this so that we could actually use it to add images. All right, more than one. Right now you could just see it's one, but it's not really functional, and we're gonna add functionality to it.